Okay, I call the special meeting of the White Lake Library Board of Trustees to order at 6:45 p.m. on October 18, 2022. With that,
Roll call.
we'll look, well, yeah, thank you.
Thank
Roll
you.
call.
You are-
It's not written down, so
I know,
it's
we went over that.
yeah,
Okay, Richard McGlue,
present.
Gwendolyn Newton,
Present.
and let's see, Jake Dudek
Here.
and Karen Wines present, and we have trustees Jennifer Schultz and Beth Rubis absent, excused.
Okay. So we'll look for a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as stated October 18th, 2022 for our 6:45 meeting.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys have, oh, no, all opposed, but you guys have it. Okay, and then on to public comments. Are there any public comments?
Yes,
Nope.
comments.
Okay. Lacking public comment, we'll move to the new business, banking change.
Do you want to discuss what, Richard, do you want me to do? Okay, so as treasurer, I'll do this, and so, just briefly, we've looked at, with the current bank that we use today and the potential of a different bank. We just, as we're going through our investment, portfolio and looking at what we can do to increase interest for, revenue for the library. We decided that we would investigate all possibilities of banking specifically for our checking account and in cash, insured cash sweep account. And in that realm, we had two of our primary banking institutions come in and talk with us, and we've made the choice that we will be looking at the rates. The rates are considerably better for Flagstar. Flagstar offers us a opportunity to make interest at 1.9%. That's today's rate for our insured cash sweep, and 2.3% in our savings. Currently, neither of those are an opportunity at our current bank. We don't make any income. We don't make any interest income on those. So, and then also
I think
looking
it's
at the
0.1%, but
pardon.
I think it's 0.1%. But-
So the difference is going to be about, we're gonna average about $1,500 a month in interest. Going to Flagstar versus about $2
Mhm.
that we're getting at PNC today. Because they just don't have the same kind of structure for their business checking rates. So, and these are so obviously those are a lot better rate. And then we looked at the different fees. Flagstar offered us a fee of $80 a month, and I think that it was about $115 a month at PNC for the same services. So we did apples to apples, and it just makes sense to move over to Flagstar for our primary checking in a cash sweep account.
Okay.
So did everybody have an opportunity to look at what was presented by both banks?
Yes, I
Yep.
did.
Is there any questions?
After this, assuming we approve this, will we still have a relationship with PNC, or will we move all of our business there?
That's to be determined. And why I say that is because one of the things I did bring forward for us was some rates for brokerage CDs that were I thought were exceptional,
Mhm.
exceptionally good. And I don't know if those are only if you have an account, a checking account with them.
Mhm.
And if not, and we can still do a brokerage CD with them, I definitely will investigate that and move forward with it.
Yeah.
The brokerage CDs rates were excellent, so. So I hope not to totally disengage with PNC, but what we see today on our primary checking and savings, moving most of that to Flagstar would be a benefit to the library. So we have Joe Strauss today, who's our accountant, who's our what do I want to say, our accountant?
Sure.
Okay, and we thank you for joining us. Do you have any comments about this move? If we approve this move today?
Obviously, managing the transition and watching where funds are via the normal disbursements and things is gonna be a project.
We don't plan on closing one account. If this is approved, we don't plan on closing that account until we have everything moved appropriately.
Cash is currently low. I've got it at about 44,000.
Okay, so,
So we might want to move some money, but not maybe as much as they would normally.
okay. That's true. So about 44. That's not gonna cover next month's expenses.
Correct.
Okay,
So obviously there's electronic transactions that we currently have in place at PNC that we're gonna have to switch over to the new account. Probably the most consequential of which is the payroll direct deposit and payroll taxes. So once we get the account set up, we've got account numbers and so forth, we can start that process. We're obviously going to need to order checks, check stock. Then we've got another 5 or 10
That's what I'm looking at.
transactions
Yeah,
that are automatic withdrawals, pay various things. And I don't imagine
yeah.
those are gonna be real difficult to change over, so.
okay,
I would think 4 to 6 weeks, we could probably.
okay. So I was thinking about a 60-day window. Okay.
Is there a suggestion for an amount to start as a deposit so that we can start making some of those moves? Like what would be an initial deposits to at least cover some of?
Well, I don't know what some of those are.
it's kind of- We should be looking.
Without doing some kind of intricate calculation, I would just off the top of my head say 50 grand. And since it's all gonna end up there,
Right.
all your liquid funds are gonna.
We can move some of the savings that we have at Flagstar today into a cash sweep account. That would cover that. Right?
Yeah, that would be the,
Yeah.
So we can make that decision.
Put it on the next agenda.
Let's make the first motion first.
Okay,
I think we need to make the first motion. So anybody, because now we're getting down into the details of what we might do, right? So let's talk about motion one first,
okay.
okay? So any other questions? All right. So I'm gonna read my motion.
okay,
Due to the increased revenues from interest earned and savings on checking fees, I motion for the board to approve moving the library's primary checking from PNC Bank to Flagstar Bank.
I second that motion.
okay.
Do we want to saying move the, I guess that, is that clear enough?
That is,
It's the only thing we have right now at PNC.
But yeah, so we're specifically, I'm thinking for when we've opened accounts, we've had a motion specifically to open a specific account.
Okay, so
There.
I'm motioning to move the library's primary checking from PNC
As
to
a first,
Flagstar
and then
as a first.
First, okay,
mhm.
Okay,
that makes sense. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay. Now, my
Okay.
second motion is now that we've made this decision that we're going to move our primary checking to Flagstar.
Mhm.
And the only account we have at PNC today is a checking. My second motion would be to open a new checking account and a new cash sweep account at Flagstar. Due to take advantage of the rate, the increased interest rate that we would have on the ICS versus the checking account. So today's rate for ICS is like 1.9%, and the checking account is only 0.6%. So I make the motion that we open 2 new accounts
Okay.
at Flagstar. One will be checking and one will be an insured cash sweep account.
You want to say the name of the accounts? There is a government banking checking max account. And
What page are you looking
I'm
at?
on the
Oh,
second sheet.
okay. I don't know if that really, because this doesn't actually include the ICS account. We
Yeah.
already have a government savings max account.
Okay.
But after our discussion with Flagstar, we decided to include an ICS, which gave us another 1.9%. So. Can you read that back to me?
Yes.
Because we may make it.
Okay.
Motion.
Motion to open 2 new accounts at Flagstar Bank, one a checking account and one an insured cash sweep account made by Gwendolyn Newton.
So let's call those, as Rich had stated, and it's on,
Well, actually, it's in their proposal as checking and ICS.
right,
So that's as long as
Okay.
we,
Yeah.
as proposed, if we had it as,
they will be government banking
yeah.
max accounts. Okay,
Where am I putting that in there?
you can, and I don't know if the ICS is called a government banking max account. The checking this, but it's in their proposal, so,
Thank you.
okay. Okay, so, Rich is correct. Let's put this, because if you look at this, this is everything that it includes. It's the government banking checking max account and the government banking savings max accounts.
Okay, so the
Okay.
other one, instead of where it says insured sweep,
If you look at government banking
Uh-huh.
savings max account, under that, it also includes this insured sweep.
so do you want both those put into there? One. and-
Yes, because, talking to Flagstar, by doing both of these together, we actually, we went from a 2.2% to a 2.32%. So,
Mhm.
yes. So just put those both in there, we should be fine. Don't you think, Chris?
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I want to be able to walk in and say, well, which one? You know, you need to be more specific. Try to
Okay.
avoid that.
so motion to open 2 new accounts at Flagstar Bank. One, a government bank max account, max checking account. Okay,
It's a government banking checking.
banking, you're right, banking, checking.
Checking,
I have the
max account.
checking, yeah. I
Okay.
missed the ing on bank.
Thank you.
Max account and one a government banking
Savings. max.
savings max account.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say which includes the insured cash sweep account.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
All set?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
I have one more question for you, Rich, to make sure that I've done this right. Do we need to have a motion that we made the motion to approve the move. We made the motion to open these two accounts. Do we need to make a motion that we agree to the contract as stated?
I think we need two motions. One, I
Okay.
think we need to fund the accounts. And we also need to accept the
Accept the proposal.
accept the proposal.
Okay, thank you.
And did they have both you and me signing it? I don't, there was a DocuSign.
First page of the email on the bottom, online banking agreements.
It just says needs to be signed by Rich.
But maybe
No, that's for online banking.
So we should approve the as a motion, we should approve the proposal or the accept the proposal for banking services. Complex or
I'm sorry. Rich.
so they've given us a proposal, we should accept the proposal
As
and
written,
authorize.
funding the accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I make a motion to accept the proposal as written by Flagstar Bank for the new checking and savings account and fund these accounts as needed.
Well, why don't we make a separate motion to move X amount of dollars as we normally would do from here to move money from here to here. There, so let's accept the proposal in the first, in the third motion.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the proposal as written by Flagstar Bank for a 2-year contract, a 2-year agreement
For a 2-year agreement.
for banking services. So the first thing we need to decide is how much money we're going. Okay. we're gonna put that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need to.
Are you good, Karen?
Can you read that back to us? Karen?
Okay, so maybe I can. Motion to accept the proposal as written from Flagstar Bank for a 2-year agreement for banking services for the new checking and savings accounts. And then you were going into funding. Are we stopping the funding?
We're gonna stop there.
Okay, okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right. Savings accounts.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, so let's talk about this funding. First of all, we've got to fund PNC to get us through. Right, because we don't have enough.
So, if we move $100,000 from Flagstar. to the existing account in Flagstar to PNC, that would give us about 144. Give or take.
We're gonna be really close.
Yeah.
Because I think we average about 137,000 and I think that was the average that I looked at was 137,000 for the last like 3 months
Okay.
of expenses going out.
Mhm.
So that it's gonna be really close. So I'm thinking maybe 125. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Final
Said 125
for 150
or
to move into P, we have to be able to cover our expenses in PNC as we do this, and we knew we were really close this month, and so to make sure that we cover all our expenses as we do this transfer, we need money from Flagstar actually into PNC.
okay.
Okay.
Do you want to move 120?
What do you think, Rich? You think, or do you think?
That's
we
not
say
kind of, yeah, like you say, that, you know, if we're going to be close, let's,
do 150?
yeah, have enough that,
Okay. All right.
is it, something takes a week longer? You know,
And then when we have
necessarily-
everything moved, we can then close that account. Up. Okay. All right, so I make a motion that we move $150,000 from our savings account in Flagstar Bank to PNC to cover expenses in the remaining of October and November.
Do we need to stick with account? Let's see.
We only
PNC
have
checking.
Just check.
Oh,
Okay.
I already wrote it in, so won't make it.
So
Checking to cover expenses.
expenses through fourth quarter of 2022.
For all the way through December.
We'll not cover all the way through December, but
Oh,
if we have anything straggling along, right? we need to have it.
I was looking, that would get us through the next 2 payrolls, so it gets us near the end of November before we have another payroll.
I just hate to say through October, November,
Well,
and we
just
have
if-
something going into
Yeah.
December that we haven't. used.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
Yeah,
why
we can transfer again. It wasn't necessarily it designed to take us to the end of the year. At PNC. In all likelihood, well, we probably will be moved mostly off.
as long as we can get checks,
Yeah, but there's always gonna be something, you know.
right,
There.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just moved, okay, so let's do the motion this way is I motion to move $150,000 to PNC to cover current expenses.
current expenses, end of sentence.
Expenses.
Current.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Okay,
Okay,
Sorry, can you read it again? Just one more time.
okay. Hang on. Okay, motion to move $150,000 from Flagstar Bank savings to PNC checking to cover current expenses made by Gwendolyn Newton.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. And do we need to then move money into the Flagstar accounts, the 2 accounts?
Yeah, but I don't really know how much money we have in the savings account today because I moved money out of there. I have to think about this, because we moved money into CDs. So, hang on. And I think we moved 300,000 of that. Hmm. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure we moved 300,000, we moved 100,000, and then we moved to 200,000. So that brings that balance down to 312,000, and we just moved 150 of them.
Mhm.
So that only leaves us 165, which then I started really thinking about it. I think we've got money in other banks that we should actually, that aren't making any money.
Mhm.
Do you have a budget? Because, let's see, I moved all of Genesis. Yes. But I don't, and then I think we only moved, I think we only approved, can you look at last month's, minutes, because I think we only approved to move, like $100,000 in, lakes. And I think there's $400,000 in that account.
Okay, just a second.
104.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we may actually move move like a couple $100,000 from lakes to Flagstar.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking about that when we did that, and I thought, geez, $400,000 sitting there. We could make more money on.
Okay, which one did you want to know about?
Lakes,
Okay,
how much did we move out of lakes?
you mean to put into a CD?
Yes.
100,000.
Okay.
Lake Michigan Credit Union,
Yep.
So that leaves us
100,000.
300,000, right? Okay, so, Rich, this is what I think that we should do is move, we should fund, that sweep account. I think the checking we have, I think it's always gonna be 12.5, we have to fund that. And the remainder of $200,000 from lakes. To fund the ICS, which is the insured cash sweep.
You know, 200,000 to the ICS and how much to the savings or to the checking?
Well, I think that I think that it's always gonna be. Just as we did in the PNC, that the sweep is like 12.5.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's only 12.5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the standard that PNC had, and that's what they offered us at Flagstar
Okay.
as well. Okay,
Um,
so so how much did you say we have, Joe? In lakes?
Less the CDs, and you're a little under 300.
So, so we can move 200,000 into the checking account and into the ICS. We can move 12,500 into
the,
this checking, okay?
Mhm.
And, out of lakes. And I won't get that entire name straight. For lakes,
Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Lake Michigan. And that would still leave us with the savings.
Sounds good.
So where's it going to?
Okay, so, we're gonna move, from Lakes, Lake Michigan Credit Union, 12.5,
Oh,
12,500 into a check, into Flagstar checking
okay, wait a
to
second.
open the account.
Okay, so 12,000. Just a second. $500, okay, to the Flagstar checking,
Mhm.
okay. Okay,
And
If we put if we do one transaction to the checking, does it? The
well, we,
excess go to
It would
the,
automatically sweep. I would think.
so we can make one,
okay,
you can make it 200,000.
let's do that, because then I was thinking we could take that remaining at Lakes, there's money there that we may look at a brokered CD at PNC.
Mhm.
Okay, let's do that. All right, thank you. So. All right, so what we're looking at doing is moving 200,000 from Lake Michigan Credit Union to fund the new ICS and checking account at Flagstar.
Fund the new,
ICS, which is the insured cash sweep account and the checking account at Flagstar.
okay. Motion to move $200,000 from Lake Michigan Credit Union to fund the new ICS and checking accounts at Flagstar Bank.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. In a related area, we have the electronic banking agreement for to allow us to do electronic banking with Flagstar. Should approve that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanna talk about that because I think we definitely need to do it. One of the things that there's a proposal in here, and Joe, you might be able to help us out. You have other libraries that you work with that actually bank at Flagstar. Per what Flagstar gave us as references. Do you use e-check at other libraries? You do not. Okay. My biggest concern,
No particular reason not to, based on that. They just don't.
okay, so, but Rich, when we had that meeting with Flagstar, so this e-check. She wrote in this email back. This product does not support more than a two-step process, input and approve.
Yeah, that's just thinking forward. The having the dual signatures, we're not going to be able to replicate that in Flagstar
And right,
with
e-check.
yeah with
right.
the check.
Right. And that is, and we don't. That's not the way we're written up.
Mhm.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
We have to have two signatures on each check.
I think you're gonna have to modify your procedure
Before we go forward with that, right? We can't have one, because right now, our charters, we have two signatures. And if I'm reading this correctly. We would only, and we can do online banking with them, because we need to do, we can do fund transfers.
Yeah,
But we can't, and so we have that fund transfer vendor list, but we can't write an e-check.
I'm just wondering if there's a way to, I mean, use maybe the actual invoice itself. I mean, I get the invoices, I initial.
I understand that, but
And
that's not
maybe-
the way our charter's written.
Yeah. I'm just
So we have to go back and look at it. I'm almost positive we have to have two officers or two board members sign a check. And this is not within that realm, and I don't think I have to look at it. I don't think we can get around that, and I don't think we should. We need to have two signatures.
But I mean, really between ACH and EFT, how? I mean, would we be doing that many e-checks?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There's an issue with terminology.
Yeah.
here, and what exactly does it, how they define a new check?
Right, and we need to
Yeah.
talk to them about it.
An ACH.
Yeah.
Origination versus,
Yeah.
Right,
so I think you need to learn a little more about the system.
but you're
And what
not using
capabilities
e-check
are-
with Flagstar for other entities that you support.
Not correct.
And I think we need to know more about it before we approve that piece of our banking business.
I agree.
it might be nice to just get started with the original, what we originally said with our EFT and ACH vendors before
Yes.
we even think about going with that. Get used to that.
Yeah.
And then move forward.
Right.
Or say, we're not gonna move forward.
I mean, we know for a fact that Flagstar system won't handle 2 approvals.
That's what she
yeah.
wrote back to us,
Yeah.
because we asked for it. She said for e-check, deluxe payment exchange. She says in the presentations here. She says, I checked with the product manager and this product does not support more than a 2-step process, input and approve. So I don't think, so we'll have to look into it a little bit more. But we're not gonna use it at the moment,
Phase 2.
those two. Right,
Okay, but so the one aspect of the online banking agreement is ability to do transfers from account to within the from the account to account so that we can initiate a transfer from Flagstar to another of our bank.
well, we can do wire transfers, and wire transfers is included.
Right, but we have to sign the online banking agreement to be able to do that.
Yes, to initiate wire transfers, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, yes, and Rich, I think you're the only one that has to sign that online banking agreement,
Right, right.
okay,
But have we made a motion to approve it?
okay.
So.
I will make a motion to approve, to use the Flagstar online banking system.
Wait, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening, sorry. I was reading this at the same time, I'm
Okay.
sorry, go
All right,
ahead.
that's fine. I'll make a motion to, for Rich to sign online banking agreements at Flagstar Bank that will enable us.
I gotta write it, I can't type it for some reason, okay. Motion to, my brain just went away.
Empower Richard Blue,
To allow or to, what are we doing? I'm sorry,
authorize.
thank
Okay.
you.
You're on. Yeah.
I make a motion to authorize Rich to sign the online banking agreement at Flagstar.
Okay, I got it now. Sorry. I was reading one of the things and I didn't.
I'll second that motion, Karen.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Um,
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Have
by
we-
doing this, it allows us to, add, currently Joe and, April can't actually see online, our online banking. And so this allows us to be able to do that. And so Joe will be able to actually, pull a CSV file and put into QuickBooks. I think that's what you use as a CSV file, some type of file. Right. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
Put it in a search. Right, and so it gives them that, it gives them better clarity of what the account looks like all the time. And we don't have that today.
Probably the biggest advantage will be if I can pull bank statements at the end of the month.
Right.
And I have to bother anyone else.
Right, right, yes. So, I'll be primary administrator. And then, whoever else is a signer and, full access. And then April will have read access. And Joe will have read access.
Okay.
So.
Good.
Okay, and actually, anybody else on the board, we can do it that way, because we can send this new And it might make it a little bit easier when we change signers.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, the whole e-check thing, I think we need to talk to you about that some more. But this agreement does include wire transfer, and, you know, most of the people that we have on our EFT vendor list will be a wire transfer.
Yeah.
So,
So this includes ACH origination as well.
yes, it does. And positive
I
pay.
would think that would be cheaper than wires,
Yes.
just,
They don't charge us for wire. There's no charge for wire.
okay, well, then that's.
Then it's the same cost.
So it really depends on when we reach out to these different vendors, you know, what their preference is, right? In some, ACH origination is included. And I'm just, I have to look, but but I thought wire transfer was included as well.
Usually wire transfer is financial institution to financial institution versus a
Yeah.
payment.
Our wires are included as well, so. Okay.
Well, let me say, Gwen, thank you very much for, this was a mountain of paper and well done.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thanks. Mitch.
thank you for doing this. It's
And thanks to Joe, and thanks to April. And thanks to Jake. We've all put in some time on figuring this out.
yeah,
But,
good job.
you know, now that the library is built and stuff, we really need to look at what our best forms of moving. And this gives us another, you know, it's substantially an increase in our revenue on our banking services. So,
So that looks like it brings us to the last item on this agenda. The chair will entertain an additional motion.
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will second that.
Okay.
Meeting adjourned at, that's hard to read, at 7:27.